She killed her fiancé for love. Her lover's 3 words sent her to jail forever. Suman Garg had everything a girl from a good family could want. A respected name, a wealthy home, a future that was already planned out beautifully. But she wanted something else. And what she did to get it? Karma made sure she paid for it, every single rupee. The Gargs and the Aggarwals had been business partners for over 2 decades. 2 powerful Delhi families, old money, deep roots, shared respect. So when the idea of a marriage between their children came up, it felt less like an arrangement and more like destiny being tidied up neatly. Kunal Aggarwal was 28, educated, grounded, and quietly kind. The kind of man who remembered what you said 3 weeks ago. The kind of man who always showed up. Suman Garg was 26, beautiful, sharp, and burning with something that no one around her quite understood. Their families announced the engagement. Both families celebrated. Everyone was happy. Everyone except Suman. Because Suman Garg had a secret. His name was Chirag Singh. They had met 3 years ago at a college friend's wedding. A look across a decorated mandap, a stolen conversation near the dessert table, and then months of messages, late-night calls, a love that lived entirely in the shadows, because both families would never approve. Chirag was not from their world. No generational wealth, no business empire, just a regular job, a rented flat in South Delhi, and Suman whole heart. When Suman's family told her about Kunal, she had begged them quietly, then silently accepted, then called Chirag and wept. But Chirag didn't let her grieve for long. He had another idea. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, Suman and Chirag met in secret, twice at a cafe on the outskirts of Delhi, once in a parked car near her office. And in those meetings, Chirag told her, "Suman, if Kunal is not there, the wedding cannot happen, and then you are free. We are free." Suman listened. She did not say no. She began studying Kunal, his routines, his habits, what he trusted, what he never questioned. And then she found her moment. Her birthday fell 15 days before the wedding. She went to Kunal with a soft smile and said, "Kunal, I don't want a party this year. No gifts, just take me trekking. Somewhere high and beautiful. Just the 2 of us." Kunal, who would have given her anything, said yes immediately. He researched the best trail himself, booked the permits, planned a birthday picnic for the summit. He was so happy that she had asked. The morning of the trek, they set off early. Kunal carried most of the weight, the bag, the water, the food. He kept checking if Suman was okay, offered his hand on the steep sections. Near the top, he looked out at the valley and said, "Suman, imagine telling our children we came here before the wedding." Suman smiled and kept walking. They reached the summit just after noon. The view was extraordinary. Valleys below, clouds at eye level. The whole world spread out like it belonged to them. Kunal stood at the edge, looking out. He said something about the future, about how lucky he felt. Suman stepped up beside him. She looked at him once, and then she pushed him. It was over in seconds. One moment he was there, the next he was gone. The mountain was silent. The wind continued, and Suman stood at the edge, alone, staring down. She called the emergency number, screaming and crying, saying he had slipped, that it happened so fast, that she couldn't reach him. The rescue team arrived within the hour. Kunal's body was recovered from the ravine below. The police came. They were kind at first. A grieving woman on a mountain, a tragic accident before a wedding. These things happen. But the investigating officer was careful. He noticed small things. The angle of the fall, inconsistent with a slip at that particular spot. Suman's shoes, clean soles, no slip marks, no sign she had tried to grab him. And then her phone. Suman had called Chirag 17 minutes after Kunal fell. Before she called the emergency number 17 minutes. She had called her lover before she had called for help. When the police brought Chirag in for questioning, the room was quiet. They placed the call logs in front of him. They told him what they knew. They asked him about his relationship with Suman. Chirag sat back and said 3 words, no, nothing. He denied everything. No relationship, no secret meetings, no plan, no knowledge of any trekking trip. The police showed him the cafe CCTV, 2 meetings in the last month. He said they were coincidental. He said Suman had reached out and he had simply been polite. He never once looked worried because Chirag had been careful. There was nothing in writing. No messages planning anything explicitly. No calls that said too much. Just presence. Just proximity. Just a woman who had loved him and done the unthinkable to be with him. And now, he was walking away from all of it. Suman was arrested, charged with the murder of Kunal. In her cell that night, she kept waiting for Chirag to come forward, to speak up, to tell them it was never supposed to go this far. He never came. The trial of Suman lasted 11 months. The forensic evidence was damning, the call logs, the trajectory of the fall. A witness, a solo trekker lower on the trail, who told the court he had heard no screaming before the fall. Only after. Suman was convicted of the murder of Kunal. Life imprisonment. On the day the verdict was read, she looked at the courtroom doors one last time, as if some part of her still believed Chirag might walk through them. He didn't. But karma did not forget Chirag. The Aggarwal family, devastated, furious, and with resources, hired the best private investigators in Delhi. Within a year, they had everything. The cafe meetings on camera. A friend of Chirag's who finally broke his silence and told investigators that weeks before the trek, Chirag had said, Suman will handle it. After that, we are sorted. Chirag was arrested 14 months after Suman, charged with criminal conspiracy to commit murder. The man who had looked police officers in the eye and said, I know nothing, now sat in a courtroom where everything was known. He was convicted, sentenced to 25 years. 2 people who had whispered plans in parked cars and quiet cafes now sat in separate cells, with nothing left but time and the weight of what they had done. Kunal Aggarwal, who had carried the bag, planned the picnic, and spoken about telling their children about the view from the top, never got to see what his life could have been. And that is the heaviest karma of all. Suman thought love was worth any price. Chirag thought silence was the same as safety. They were both wrong. You can plan in the dark. You can speak in whispers. You can delete every message. But karma does not need evidence. Karma was watching from the very beginning. And karma was quick. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. New karma stories every week on Karma Chronicles. Subscribe and don't miss what's coming next.